Oh, going back to the old calendar, yes. And it only makes sense. That was a great calendar. It also, for me personally, as a professional, falls right when there's the major conference in my field. So I was always able to go to the conference, not miss classes, not miss Passover, because it's also scheduled around Passover. And in fact, this year it was very disruptive not to have that time off.
It bothers me that certain religions are no longer going to be honored, if that's the right way to recognize.
You know, it changes each year. It falls on a different weekend. It falls on a different date. You know, either it's in March, either it's in, you know, whatever the case may be. It's a tough holiday to try to
Albany students upset today over the university eliminating 2 key religious days off, Easter Monday and Passover. The move comes as university officials tried to prevent last year's Kegs and Eggs riot from happening this year. Albany canceled classes during St. Patty's Day this year, which in turn knocked 2 holidays off the school's days off calendar. Those holidays, Easter Monday and Passover. Students are not happy with the move.
And pertaining to the academic calendar, I feel like it's kind of unfair because I'm a wellness assistant on Colonial Quad, and when the students are here extra days, which means we have to work as well. So I don't have time to spend with my family, I can't go home, and I'm basically forced to stay on
Anew tonight,
campus.
some scheduled changes at Albany causing quite the stir among the students. The college scheduling classes for Good Friday and the Monday after Easter. Day students typically have off and use travel time for the holiday.
So even getting the Friday and the Monday off isn't sufficient. I really would very much like to go back to the old calendar where we got, because Easter and Passover are very close together always, you can usually have 1 week-long vacation that covers them both. So, yeah, I think that's...
We would always go over my uncle's, and then we go to Mass together, you know, have a nice, Easter dinner together.
Many Albany students say family traditions will be a thing of the past if they don't get time to travel home for the holiday weekend.
Where, some of my other colleagues are coming from in regards to the fact that they feel like their voice isn't being heard. In reference to the fact that some people like to truly practice during that holiday. They like to go to church. They like to make sure that their religious ideals are being heard. So I understand where
and
people
of
can be
course
upset.
students should have a voice. I mean, that students far outnumber faculty on this campus. Their experiences count equally and given numbers more. So absolutely students should have a voice.
Yes, you get the students voting. I think it's too complicated. It's the same issue, but I think it has to come from a judicial body as such.
It's going to be really hard to go home, especially for me since I live on Long Island.
The 2013 Albany academic calendar schedules classes on both Good Friday and the Monday after Easter, 2 days students typically have.
I mean, I'm Jewish. I used to love Jewish holidays because I could play baseball.
Second, and I'm not too happy. And we celebrate Passover and have for the last 25 years. And it's very important to us. And there was no way that I would hold a class on that day. I would cancel it. And I also think that we need breaks. We need to
I'm
rest.
an atheist. I was raised Catholic, but I'm honestly, I was wondering why they hadn't done this before. Like, since this is a Sunni school and it's run entirely by state funding, and well, the students do contribute in form of tuition, but it's like state funded. And I was always curious as to why state-funded institutions only celebrate holidays from 2 of the major like monotheistic religions. And I was actually wondering when they were going to start not having these breaks anymore. I think it's a good idea. I actually do think it's a
But you were missing that day's lecture, and I don't think that's fair. I think if you want to take a holiday off, fine, excuse holiday, but there's a penalty for that. You miss it.
I think the university is not treating Easter with the reverence it deserves.
That's why Peter Krepine started a campaign to get the university to reverse its decision. He thinks the schedule change is continued fallout from last year's infamous Kegs and Eggs melee.
I honestly feel that Easter should be recognized as a holiday on campus, solely because I'm a Christian and I feel like out of respect, everyone shouldn't have to go to work because people need time to go to church, and even if you're not going to church, people need time to meditate because, as I said, as a Christian, I feel like there's a level of respect that needs to be given to people because, as you can see, the Jewish community is able to have several days off because of their religion, so why can't the Christians as well?
When one holiday gets preference over another, that holiday that kind of got shafted is going to be upset.
This is a multicultural institution. There's so many religions that might have holidays that a practitioner of that religion might want to take off, that I'm ignorant of, and I suspect you may be. But if everybody was giving holidays off, there'd be very few days for school.
The school did, however, change spring break to include St. Patrick's Day in an effort to avoid another riot near campus.
Regular breaks for like spring break and winter recess and stuff like that. Those are cool, but I don't get the idea of having a religious holiday. You can exempt students from having to be in class. Like you can call that like an excused absence, but I don't get how they like making everybody take off for it.
I hadn't thought about it until I heard about it, and it bothered me, if that's the right word. If you take the day off, which you can do, you're still losing 1 day of lecture. And I think that's bad. I think you're being penalized because you've taken the day off for your religion.
Decisions. I'm not saying that decision was made easily, but I think that more voices should have been taken into account. And I think that we can do that next year.
So Easter plans for this year are good to go, but next year that is not the case. All the kids we talked to here at UAlbany are not happy about this idea, but 2 students have started a campaign. They've even created a website to try to get the school to reverse its decision.